Hi everyone, how you doing? Happy Friday. I thought for this episode I would talk about one of my favorite blends. Well, actually, I'll probably say that about all the blends, but this is one that I use probably the most. I go through about 1.5 bottles of it a month, and that's DDR Prime. And I think it's also the blend that probably isn't understood very well, and that was certainly my experience, and it's the experience of when I talk to people. So I'm hoping I can give you a little bit more insight into why I think it's so good for myself and my pets. So I'm Dr. Helen. I am an A&E doctor and an advocate for integrative wellness, as well as an animal aromatherapy specialist. And I love to use essential oils to support the health and well-being of myself and my pets, and helping educate people to do the same for their family, whether that's human or animal. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the subscribe button or follow so I can carry on creating more content, and let me know in the comments what you want to know about. Would you like to get essential oils into your life? Why not book in for a free chat with me, or come to one of my classes to find out how essential oils can support you, or maybe if you've got oils but don't know how to use them best, either for you, your health, or that of your pets. That's okay, because I do general overviews or full consultations as well, depending on your needs. So drop me a message and we can chat about what the best option is for you. So, DDR Prime. Now, DDR actually stands for Daily DNA Repair, and it's one of doTERRA's proprietary blends. And one of the things I really love about doTERRA is their blends, because I think they do exactly what they say on the tin, and they have put so much effort into how they blend them. You know, the science that goes on behind the scenes is absolutely really fantastic. And I'm just overwhelmed all the time when I read about it and how they've thought up these blends and how they get the oils. Because when you blend oils together, you get, it's not just the sum of the individual parts. They create a synergy that sort of amplifies the effects of each of the oils. So it's really, really quite amazing. So I started using DDR Prime right at the start of when I first started using oils. And I got it to support my dog's cardiovascular system, my dog Evie, who has a heart murmur. And it was based on sort of the advice from Dr. Rourke. Now, I didn't really know an awful lot about the blend then, but I just like, I just want to do whatever I can to support my dog's health. And then as time has evolved, I then started to use it for my dog's musculoskeletal system. And I do believe that actually it was this blend, along with copaiba and frankincense, that actually sort of helped Evie so much to support her musculoskeletal system with her arthritis as time went on. And so it didn't actually manifest, issues didn't actually manifest until far later on, which because of the support she was getting from the frankincense, the copaiba and the DDR Prime, because they're so supportive. So I use them for my dogs with musculoskeletal issues, also for my dog who has urinary tract problems because he's paraplegic, and also to support my anxious dogs as well, because of the potential benefits for brain health. So I'm going to sort of explain a little bit more about that. Now, this is all anecdotal evidence. This isn't like the results of clinical trials or anything like that. So this is just my experience of using the blend, and based on what I've read and how I've got a hair flying around there you go, and how I've kind of looked at the evidence and why I've decided that I use it. So let's just look at it first of all. So it's a blend of quite a few oils actually. So first of all, we've got clove, thyme, litsea and wild orange, and they are all really potent antioxidants, and clove is like one of the richest oils for antioxidants. It's absolutely superb. And it also has frankincense, lemongrass, summer savory, and niaouli to support the immune system. So this is also key as well. Now, obviously, supporting the immune system is absolutely crucial, and that's one of the reasons that I like to use it for my boy Bambi, my paraplegic, because I have to avoid his bladder. I want to make sure that I'm supporting his urinary tract, because sometimes we have had a few problems with his bladder, and I found it massively different since I've started. And he has DDR Prime, he has copaiba, and he has celery seed as well. So he's also paraplegic, obviously, because he's got a break in his back as well. So this all, they all support his body. But as I said, I started to use it for my my dogs with musculoskeletal problems, because of its antioxidant rich benefit, and also obviously because it will support those, all the combination of all the oils will support cellular health as well. So this is really crucial. Now, antioxidants are what neutralize free radicals. So free radicals are what are going around the body and causing inflammation. And inflammation in a lot of cases is actually necessary. So when we break a leg, we actually want the inflammatory process to surround the break so that we promote healing. And that's one of the reasons we don't advise using things like Nurofen, because that's is an anti-inflammatory, and we don't really want to stop the inflammation process because that's going to contribute to healing. But when you get chronic inflammation because it's been going on for so long, that's when you actually start to get problems in fatigue and, you know, ongoing muscle aches and pains and so much more. But antioxidants are what actually neutralize the free radicals. And I always like to think of it as like kind of a little game of Pac-Man, showing my age there. But you've kind of got the antioxidants, and they scoop up all these free radicals and promote an anti-inflammatory environment. So things like osteoarthritis are, you know, it's inflammation that's causing the problem. It's chronic inflammation that's causing these degenerative changes in the hips and the joints and things like that. And so having a diet that's rich in antioxidants can be absolutely key in supporting our musculoskeletal system. And obviously, if we add in things that can give it a boost, then that's going to be really beneficial. And that was certainly what I found with my dogs. You know, I tried it certainly with my boy Rowan with his hip dysplasia. Adding in DDR Prime really made such a massive difference with his running, and it was the only thing I changed. And you know, again, when you start to look at how antioxidants work, you can start to see, okay, I can see how that could actually be really beneficial. Now, the key thing. So first of all, I just used it for the musculoskeletal benefits, and as I said, the oils there all support cellular health as well. So you can start to sort of see a pattern of why it might be really beneficial. Now, I'm actually in year one, nearly finished year one of a 3-year dog behavior course, which is absolutely fantastic, absolutely loving it. And we've obviously been covering lots of things like, you know, physiology, neurobiology, the endocrine system, and, you know, all those manner of things. And so the brain has obviously come up an awful lot in it. And when we were actually talking in several of the modules actually about neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity is when you are developing new neural pathways, and it's something that you want to do. For example, if someone's got dementia, I was chatting about this in my dementia class last week. You want to create new neural pathways. So as bits of the brain die off, you want to create new pathways to try and keep that cognitive function going. Also, for example, when people have strokes, again, it's about creating new neural pathways to help them get better. Now, other ways you want new neural pathways, if you're trying to change a behavior as well. So whatever it is, whether it's something that your dog's doing or something that you are doing, we get into habit formation, don't we? We might, for example, look at a field, okay? So, you know, there's a path through the field that goes all the way around the field, okay? And think of that as a neural path. And then if what we want to do is actually create a new path, we're going to walk in a different direction. And the more and more we walk across that grassy field, we're going to create a firmer path to the point that actually becomes the default path, because the other path isn't as well used. And that's how we can change a lot of behavior, certainly for our dogs and also ourselves, because instead of going to our default, we now go to what is our new habit. So a good example of that is, let's just look at dogs first of all, because I'm streaming this on both my pages, my dog page and my human page, or my pet page I should say, because it's not just dogs. So for example, you've got a reactive dog who, when they see another dog, they start to react. So by training a different behavior, for example, might go in a middle and stay calm and being reinforced with treats, the default can then become see another dog, in the case of my blind dog, smell another dog, sit in the middle, calm, instead of reacting. And you build that new neural pathway by constant reinforcement of the behavior that you desire, that it actually becomes the default. Now, for something like myself, one of the key things when I was trying to improve my sleep, along with using beautiful oils, behavior modifications using those two things in combination. I do not have my phone on an hour before I go to bed, and I do not look at my phone for about 2 hours in the morning. And initially, when I first started that, it was difficult because, you're in the habit of going for that doom scrolling, or you get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I wonder, what have I missed on Facebook and things like that. But the more and more you do it, it becomes the default. So I put my phone away. Like if I'm finishing work, I finished work last night at, I think I left about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to finish at 3. So I left about 4 o'clock in the morning and put my phone in my pocket, looked at my phone and then put my phone in my pocket, came home, plugged my phone in, didn't even look at it because it is now my default. I don't look at my phone before I go to bed. Get up in the morning, I do all my normal things in the morning. I feed the dogs, I have my lemon water, I have my supplements, I go and do my yoga, I go and do Evie's physio, then I have my breakfast, I read, I do my, and then, only then, and it's about 2 hours later, I get on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, like TikTok. And I look, but that's now become my default. And that's how, creating that new neural pathway. So one of the key ingredients really for creating neuroplasticity is something called BDNF, that's brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Now, what is it that actually promotes BDNF? An antioxidant-rich diet. So all those berries and all those, the fruit and veg, antioxidants, okay? What's DDR Prime got in it? It's got antioxidant-rich oils. So you can see how you can start to make a connection there. And so when I learned about that, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I'm going to see about that. So I started to use it with both my 2 dogs that are anxious. And what was really interesting was when I first started using it with Inca for the first week, I actually told one of my friends, I'm trying it. She's really sleepy this week. I don't know what it's doing, but she's really sleepy. Now, I don't know if that was to do with the DDR Prime. It just seems a bit of a coincidence, but, I don't know. But this is just my experience. So based on that, I just was like, well, it's obviously doing something. Let's give it a whirl. Now, I have to say, since I started using it for her, we have made even bigger progress in some of the things that we were trying to achieve with her. Now, because we haven't got a carbon copy of me with Inca and DDR Prime and me with Inca without DDR Prime, I don't know whether or not this has made a difference, but I'm happy that potentially it has, and I'm going to carry on using it. And it's the same with my other girl, Seren. And so what I would suggest to you do is just try it. Just give it a whirl. See how it works. Try it for a month and assess. Now, sometimes you see an obvious effect, like I did with Inca, potentially. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a sip of water. I've got a tickle in my throat, probably because I've been talking so much. And I'm going to put some air blend on. Now, try it for a month. Now, you might obviously see an effect, but sometimes with these things, they are so subtle, you don't actually realize until you stop. And then you're like, oh. And that was actually going on to Capaba, what happened with Capaba. So I started using Capaba with Seren, and I used it for about a month. And I thought, you know what? I don't think this has made any difference at all. So I'm going to stop. And I stopped using it for a month. And within a couple of days, she does a lot of spinning. She started to do her spinning again. And it was so obvious. I really noticed it. And I was like, my goodness, that actually was having an effect. It was just subtle. And so the gradual change over the course of the month, I didn't notice because it was so subtle. But when I stopped, it became really obvious. So just monitor it and have a play around. Now, for my dogs, they all are over 10 kilograms. Bambi's like just 10. They have a drop in their food twice a day. For dogs under, you would just do a toothpick, and you can just pop a toothpick in the top of the bottle and just swirl it around the food. The other way you could do it is maybe pop a drop in maybe 5 mils of extra virgin olive oil, and then use a drop of that blend added to the food. So there's 2 ways to do it. And you can either put it straight in the food or in a little veggie cap. If you put it in a veggie cap, always top it up with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Now for us, DDR Prime comes as the oil, or it also comes as soft gels. Now I add the oil, and because I add it in a little veggie cap, because I've got the oil for the dog. So I add it in a little veggie cap for me, because I've got tendinopathy. in my right shoulder at the moment. So I'm really using everything that I can use to support my musculoskeletal system. So it was like, yeah, no brainer, going to try the DDR Prime. And so I am using 3 drops because that's what's in the DDR Prime soft gels, along with marjoram and copaiba. So if you're putting it in a soft gel, just top that up with some extra virgin oil. It's going to help with the absorption and everything like that. So see how you get on. You know, the oils in there are just amazing. They can really help support the body against the oxidative stress that can damage cells as well. So you're going to have something that's really beneficial, and you know, just give it a whirl for a month. And if you do try it, let me know what you think. Let me know how you get on, because I'd love to know, because there is lots of anecdotal evidence going around if you just do a little bit of a Google search. So you know, that anecdotal evidence is the lowest form of evidence, coming from an evidence-based as a doctor, but it is still evidence. And just read about people's experiences and just then make your own decision. And that's what I did, and I found it really beneficial. You know, my dog Evie, particularly with her heart problems and her musculoskeletal problems, she is doing so well. So the cardiologist said, I don't know what you're doing, but just carry on doing. Now, whatever it is I'm doing, again, I haven't got a carbon copy. I don't know that it, you know, she's doing really well. I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. And I just think sometimes, you know, that's what we need to do. So let me know how you get on. If you've liked what you've been listening to, please hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, give me a review, share it to your stories, and I will share back as well. I'd love to connect with you in that way as well. Do share, take a little screenshot, share it and everything. If you've got any questions or you want me to cover anything, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, stay safe, everyone. Stay well. Bye.